Hello, you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Britik coming at you fast with another Call of Duty Advanced Warfare video. And today, I've got a really coolish like a thingy video for you guys. And it is my classes. The classes that I use when I compete, when I play game battles, online tournaments, stuff like that. These are the classes that I've been using. And these are for MLG variant. Now, there's also GB variant, which are a bit different. But I'm just going to focus on MLG variant since that's what all the tournament rules and such play by. Just show you guys my classes, what I use them for, break them down a bit, the usual. So let's get right into it. So we're only going to talk about 5 classes because, as many of you guys know, this game isn't too balanced, and there's one really good gun over all the other ones, and that's the Bal 27. And note 2 things, guys, before I go into this. First thing, this is a matter of opinion, okay? You guys don't have to follow these classes down to the teeth, okay? You can make your own classes. This is just what I use, just to give you some inspiration, just to give you, like, an opinion, a judgment of maybe how your class should be set up, maybe to get your foot in the door if you don't know what you're doing right now. Or if you do know what you're doing, you just want to compare your class to mine, here's how it is. And then the second thing is that these classes will be updated. The rules will change, and these classes will be updated. So pay attention to the date of this video. If you are watching this video 6 months from now, and yes, I've had videos like that, and you say, oh no, this is banned, this is bullshit, you don't know what you're talking about, look at the freaking date, people. Thank you. Okay, now we can get into the classes. So, here we have our first class. This is just like a general Slayer-ish class. It's a good overall class for any game mode, mostly the respawn ones though. I tend to use this class the most, I would like to say. Well, actually, it's a battle between first and second. So, this class I tend to use a lot when I don't feel like playing OBJ or somebody else on our team wants to play OBJ, because I know that at least one other person on our team used to be an OBJ, if not still is, and I'm also an OBJ player, so we kind of have to bounce back and forth between that. So sometimes I slay, sometimes he slays, but we usually are both like either in the hill or running the flags or whatever. You guys get it. But this is like a general good class. So I have the Bal 27, obviously, and 3 attachments that I have, and yes, 3. I have 3 attachments. It's foregrip, adjustable stock, and quick draw. So foregrip goes without saying, makes your gun more accurate, and yes, it does make a massive difference in this game. It will help you win your gunfights, and that is why I like to choose foregrip. Adjustable stock is probably the most important attachment, though, for an assault rifle, because it lets you strafe quicker, which makes you harder to hit when you're actually in a gunfight against someone else. This is just a given. I mean, you really should always have this on all of your assault rifle classes. And then quick draw is not mandatory, but it's definitely helpful if you're running and gunning a lot, you're sprinting a lot, you want to zoom in your sights faster, aim down sights, make sure that you have quick draw. But if you don't like the iron sights on this weapon, I know some people don't, I would recommend, if you had to dispose any one of these 3 attachments, I would get rid of the quick draw and just use a red dot instead of the quick draw. But I am actually really fine. In fact, I'm better with the iron sights on this weapon, so I just run quick draw. I don't use a secondary to get that extra point. Oh, actually, why is this here? Oops, I had perk 1 greed on for some reason. Okay, so that gives us something to play with. Anyway, perk 1, lightweight. This is the only one that you really need if you're just running around slaying, because grenades, 1, they're not too effective in this game, and 2, you probably won't get naded unless you're on the hard point. So if you're not on the hard point as a Slayer, which usually you aren't, then you don't need flak jacket, so lightweight is a really good alternative. It makes you move faster, and obviously, even in a gunfight, when you're strafing back and forth with adjustable stock, it gives you that slight advantage, helps you out a lot. Gung Ho, I think, is the best perk for perk 2, just because when you're sprinting, instead of having your gun down, you have your gun up. And I've won so many gunfights because I was able to have the first shot on them because of Gung Ho. Because all you do is you're sprinting, you see a guy, you start shooting, and while you're shooting, you aim down sights, and it turns into an advantage for you because you get your shot off first. And then perk 3, these are the 2 most important perks. I really recommend not losing any one of these except for a specific reason, which I will go in a bit later. But toughness and blast suppressor. Toughness to reduce your recoil. Now, toughness in this game isn't as effective as it was in Black Ops 2, so you don't, in public match, for example, you don't need it. It doesn't help you that much, but in competitive play, where everybody is really, really good, they have their gun skill down, you want to make sure that you have every advantage possible So make sure you're using toughness because that will help you win gunfights. And blast suppressor lets you boost around the map silently. I mean, basically, if you don't have this on, there's no point in boosting because you're just going to be giving away your position every single time you boost. So you need blast suppressor. You just need it. It's like the dead silence of your exosuit. So you need it. You need it. Exo ability, exo stim. This, I'm not exact. I don't think it's banned in MLG variant. It might be soon because it's banned in GB variant. So for now, I would use exo stim just because obviously it's stim. And a lot of people think that stim gives you more health. It doesn't give you more health. It increases your health regeneration. So don't use it before getting into a battle. Use it when recovering from a battle. So in case there's like a second person coming up, you are at full health by the time that second person comes up to you and tries to kill you. And you have an equal advantage at shooting him. That's what Exostim is used for. Now, if Exostim is banned, maybe Exo Cloak would be banned as well. So I would just recommend using Exo Overclock. That's always helpful. It's just like an extra lightweight bonus on top of your lightweight, so it definitely helps. And then the stun grenade, this is, you know, personal preference. Depends on what you want to do. You can switch it out for a frag, you can switch it out for an EMP, but I just tend to use stun grenades just because I like pissing people off. And when playing hardpoint or playing capture the flag, having stun grenades really helps you because it inhibits the other people's movement. They might not get to the hardpoint faster than you can, or they might not be able to pull away without flag if you stun them properly. So definitely that can help. And we have an extra slot here now that I realized. So you can do a couple of things with this. As you can see, I don't run any score streaks. That's because the score streak module support is banned in MLG variant, which means that, let's say you have a sentry gun, right? And this is a remote turret. And you put the sentry attachment on it, and you put the support attachment on it, you can die over and over and over again. But as long as you accumulate that many points, you can have a sentry gun no matter what. Which is really crucial in competitive play because you die very, very often. You die very quickly, and that happens a lot. So make sure that you have, you know, this kind of support if you're playing GB variant. But in MLG variant, you don't have that. So you would have to actually accumulate, let's say, 750 points, and you usually don't stay alive long enough for that to happen, and usually it's not even worth it anyway. So I would just recommend doing whatever you want from here. Maybe add another stun grenade, changing up the nades, maybe adding a secondary instead. Like, the pistols are pretty weak, though, in this game as well, so I don't know, guys. I really don't know. This game's not very good at weapon balancing so far. Let's move on to the next one, and we gotta go fast because I spent a lot of time on that first one. Basically, that's just going to explain everything from now on. Now, the second one is more of an OBJ class. As you can see, I have flak jacket on right here. That is because this is if I want to jump on the hard point with an assault rifle. And actually, also, as you can see, I have Exo Overclock and Exo Stim. This is to get to the hard point faster. This is to stay alive in the hard point longer. And as you can see, I don't have quick draw anymore. But this is what this is. This is an OBJ class. So Slayer, Custom 1. OBJ, Custom 2. Now, this next one is a very special class, like I said, involving toughness. This is for CTF. This is my SMG running class for CTF. This is to make sure that I can be able to pull the flag and run away with it too. So, the KF5, I think this is the best SMG in the game. You can use whatever you want, personal preference, but I think this is the best one. Foregrip, obviously, to keep your aim steady. I use the red dot sight on this one because the iron sights are kind of goofy, and the red dot sight makes it really accurate. And excuse me, extended clip, so that when you're running and gunning, you're running with the flag on your back. Let's say you run into someone, you gotta kill them. You kill them, but you don't want to reload because that will slow you down. That's what extended mags is there for, because then it gives you like 60 bullets in the clip rather than 40. So you can actually get 2 to 3 kills with one clip if you are accurate enough with this weapon. So that is why I have extended mags in there. You can also, if you want, just reload it with dual magazine. So you can actually reload fast. It's all up to you. I prefer extended mags though. Lightweight, again, move faster. CTF, want to run away with it. Gung-ho, self-explanatory. I just have your gun ready when you're sprinting. As this SMG, this is super important. Blast suppressor, again, you want to stay stealthy when you're boosting. So make sure you have blast suppressor. And now hardwired. Now hardwired, what it does is it makes you immune to system hack, EMP, nanoswarms, stun grenades, and scramblers. But the main one there is stun grenades. You want to make sure you're immune to stun grenades, because if you have the flag on your back, you can expect that a good team will actually stun or try to stun you across the way to make sure that you can't get that flag back. And that's why you have that on. It's hardwired, so you don't get stunned with the flag on your back. Now, you can have multiple classes on, like I have right here, kind of. You can have an SMG class with toughness, and an SMG class with Blast Suppressor, and just notice. If they're using stuns, use Hardwired. If they're not, just use Toughness to give yourself the advantage. But like I said, Toughness doesn't do that much in this game, and especially with an SMG where you're not going to be shooting at long distances, it doesn't really matter how much your gun bounces because the general direction of where you're shooting is going to be the same. Exo Overclock, just to make you run faster, again. And the Stun Grenade, why do I still have Perk 1 Greed? God damn it. The Stun Grenade is vice versa. If the other team pulls the flag, you need to slow them down. You have 2 Stun Grenades to slow them down, and it could be just a good way to stop them. So Stun Grenades are definitely a good way to go. Now this next class is actually for Search and Destroy. This is an overkill class with a sniper rifle. As you guys might know from Black Ops 2, I liked running a class like that with MSMC and a DSR. So this is always good as well. Again, you have, getting low. You have lightweight, gung-ho, same perks. You're usually just going to have the same perks. Here we don't have extended clip just because it's less of a running gun, more of a snipe, and have this more of a secondary. That's what I use the SMG for. It's just a secondary, just because the pistols, again, aren't that reliable in this game. Exo Overclock, so you can actually run to your sniping point quicker. A lot of people like to play cuts. You can cut people off with the sniper class, so make sure you have Overclock so you can get to that line of sight fast enough so you can get them on the cross. And Exo Cloak, just to make sure that you're not visible from that distance, because up close, Exo Cloak, you can see someone, but from far away, out of the corner of your eye, you won't be able to notice them, so it will definitely help if you're sniping from a distance. And of course, you have all the respective wildcards for each. Next we have our last class, and this is for Search and Destroy. This is an assault rifle class for Search and Destroy. You're going to see a lot of similarities everywhere, and you're going to see the barrel again with all the attachments on, but you're going to also see Tactician with these 2 Exo abilities. Now, Exo Mute in Search and Destroy, it's actually pretty helpful. It actually even makes your Blast Suppressor silent. Now, what a lot of people think is that Blast Suppressor actually makes your boosting quiet, which it doesn't. Your Blast Suppressor could still be heard. Even if it's not on the radar, it can be heard. Trust me, I have Astros. I can hear people accurately. I'm like, oh, Contrue, there's a guy to your right. He just boost jumped. And he's like, what? I didn't hear that. But he turns to the right, and he sees the guy right in front of him. Because obviously, you can still hear it even if they have Blast Suppressor. So Exo Mute not only doesn't mute your footsteps, it also mutes your exosuit when it's boosting around. So this is really useful in Search when you're trying to sneak up on someone. Maybe they're camping inside a building. Activate Exo Mute, jump around, get inside the building, take them out, deactivate it, and then reactivate it again when you need to be stealthy again. Really, really useful. And then Exo ability, you have the trophy system, and this is useful because if you're planning the bomb, you can activate this trophy system, and they won't be able to nade you. And this is really useful because before you had to put down a trophy system, now you can just activate it, and it's like on your backpack. And if you notice, I didn't have any score streaks. If you feel confident enough, if you feel like you have enough gun skill or enough guns, or if you're just a good player in general, that you can get score streaks often enough for them to be worth it, then by all means, go ahead and use the score streak. Score streak 1, 2, 3, whatever, how many ever you want. But personally, I don't even see the score streaks to be as effective as, let's say, maybe another tactical or another Exo ability that can win you a few more gunfights. So there you have it. Those are my 5 classes for now. Hopefully this was helpful, guys. If it was, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember, there will be updated versions of these as the rules progress and as they change. So don't just bank on this one. Use this one for now while the rules are still, they're still the same for now, but once they change, look out for other videos that I'll make in the future, Back to the Future. I'll make videos in the future for you guys to check out as well. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.